right here in Tucson at Tucson General Hospital with an afro. I was told I couldn't wear that to work. So I had to get the blow dryer and the afro sheen at the time, blow it dry and pull it back and put, make a big ponytail. And that's what I had to wear to work.
Hello, my name is Desiree Cook, founder and CEO of I Am You 360. We are so excited to invite you into the I Am Somebody conversation. It's not only going to be powerful, but this is something you're not going to want to miss, but you're going to want to share. And I'm here with my co-anchors. And so I'd like to introduce Nakia and Lovely. But I want to see what Nakia got to say and do this some intros over here.
Yes, Nakia Johnson, board president with I Am You 360, and here with our amazing distinguished guest, Miss Beverly Elliott, a true force to be reckoned with, community advocate, educator, co-founder of the only African American museum in Arizona, but it's really of Southern Arizona. I mean, your resume is extensive, you're fun, you're vibrant, you're funny, and we are truly honored to have you here today.
We are.
Well, I tell you, let me say, I am blessed to be here today with these three beautiful women, because I tell you, we are somebody, and you all always make us feel like we are more than somebody.
And that's what it's
Thank
about.
you.
So thank you. That was
you.
an amazing intro. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And I piggyback that as well. Lovely.
Yes.
Please tell us who you are, Queen.
My name is Lovely Gunche. I am a board member as well as Community and Donor Engagement Director of I Am You 360.
So today is the day to have a powerful conversation, a deep dive with such a simple sentence or affirmation of I am somebody. And it just holds so much weight. And so we're super honored to be able to pull from your wisdom, your crown of wisdom, and see what we, the nuggets that we can learn as well as our listeners. So just tell us, please, what does I am somebody mean to you, Miss Elliott?
Well, I was raised in a very strict home, but very poor home, but a amazing Christian home. So I grew up with Proverbs and Psalms and Matthew and John. And so one of my mantras is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lead not to your own understandings, because he's going to direct your path.
Yes.
So sometimes you have to just let go and let God. And that's what that means to me. And there's been a lot of those in my life where you want to hold on to something. And, sometimes we need to learn to back off and just let it go. And I just am that way with so many things now. Even putting together this museum, I tell you, it was God sent. It was not something ever on my radar of anything to do. Wow. Not at all.
Wow.
So my grandson at 7 said, he had this report to do as a first grader. And the teacher said, Mrs. Uqueres, and I will give her credit because she made all those little first graders write a report on a famous African American. Well, my grandson wanted to know how famous they had to be. And this was during the pandemic. So I was kind of his teacher, along with him being on the Chromebook. And he looks at me, he goes, well, we're the famous people that live right here where we live.
Wow.
And I said, I am telling you, Jody, I have no idea. Because there's not a museum and there's not a place where we can go. But let me check, because maybe I've missed it. As much as I'm in the community, I didn't think I had, but I thought, let me check. I checked with the Smithsonian. I checked with friends that were connected. And they came back and said, there is not an African American museum in the state of Arizona. There is a school called the George Washington Carver School in Phoenix. That was what was registered. It was not necessarily registered as a museum. So I told my little grandson, I'm sorry, honey, there's not a museum or anything like that here. And he looked at me all puzzled and said, what do you mean no black folks were here before us? Because where are they? Where were they? And I just looked at him and said, oh, honey, no, we just don't have a place right now where you can go and learn. He looked at me and said, well, Nanu, you need to start a museum.
I love that.
And I'll help you. And he has been a help every step of the way.
7 years old at the time.
Yes.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Absolutely. And, I just thought to myself, okay, let me think. My grandchild asked me to start a museum because there's not a place in this area where we can find out about our people. And he really wanted to know what people had impact in our community. Where are they? Or where were they?
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, Jody, that's a good question. So I talked to some friends who were associated with the museum, and they said, take this class, do this webinar, learn about how to start a museum. So me and Museum 101 got busy.
I knew there was one. Got busy.
We got busy. Let me tell you, I had to learn a lot. And when I had questions, I'd call a friend or email a friend and say, you know, I don't quite get this. I don't quite understand collections. I don't quite understand the integrity of what we have to do on protocol for museums. And I started learning all of that because I had the community connections.
Right.
I felt okay going out and saying, hey, we're going to start a museum. Do you have a story? And of course, as soon as I said that, let me tell you, the stories came flooding in.
Wow.
I mean, from Fort Huachuca to Phoenix,
Wow.
to Bisbee, you name it. I got calls, I got emails saying, if you're going to do this, I have a story for you. My mother was the first Black woman to get a master's degree at the U of A. This gentleman was the first African-American coach in the United States of America at an NCAA Division I school at the University of Arizona, Fred Snowden. The very first. So we started hearing about all these firsts, about all these wonderful people, and I'm telling Jody these stories. He's like, oh, you got to put that one in the museum. Ooh, that one's a good story.
The fact that he was even excited.
Oh, he was excited.
And it wasn't a one and done. Like, he's
No.
still helping on the journey.
Absolutely, and he still does, because one of the things he told me after we set everything up and I did a little tour with him of the things that we had, he said, you know what, people should get a treat when they come. I said, really? He said, Nanu, no offense, but you know, after listening to you talk for 35 minutes.
They would tell them, that's true. You have to listen to you.
He said, I don't mean this to sound bad, but they might need a little candy or a treat or a memory of being at the museum. So if you come to the museum, you get a Jody's bag. And Jody's bag is a magnet with a little candy in it. And that's to help you, according to him, to lift you back up, give you a little sugar rush. A sugar rush, but you get a magnet that you get to take home that also will remind you that you've been at the
memorabilia.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's important. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he's been there every step of the way, and every time I get ready to do a new educational piece, I run it by him, and he'll sometimes tweak it.
Yeah.
He'll sometimes tweak it a little bit. So it's real interesting. Yeah.
But we need those young, innovative minds
Yes.
to help us. They see things that we don't see because we came from a different era.
Exactly.
So that
Yes.
could do nothing but boost and help grow
Yes.
the museum, his young, brilliant mind.
I tell
Yes.
you.
On top of that, the fact that he's still invested. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
kids will be like, oh, okay. As I was saying earlier, like, okay, I'm interested right now. But as you continue that journey, it's like, oh, I said I wanted to help. Oh, right. Really? But he's still committed.
Oh,
Yeah.
very much so. And even on Sundays, sometimes I go in and I clean and do different things. He'll go with me. He'll say, I'll come help you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he wants to know what's new.
I mean, the museum is the epitome of I am somebody, especially for African American people here in Southern Arizona, right? And I know the museum plays such a pivotal role in the Crown Act being passed here in Arizona. So I would love for you to talk a little bit more about that, because I just think that it just bridges the I am somebody affirmation statement. They just gel so well.
Right.
Yes, I agree. One of the things that we were working on was the Crown Act. We had worked with Annie Sykes, and she'd been fighting for it for years. Then another woman called me from Phoenix. I had had my own experience right here in Tucson at Tucson General Hospital with an afro, and I was told I couldn't wear that to work. So I had to get the blow dryer and the afro sheen at the time, blow it dry and pull it back and make a big ponytail. And that's what I had to wear to work, because they didn't want me to wear a natural, regardless of what. And I mean, I could be in the OR even, and I would have everything on that you're supposed to have on, your cap, your other cap on top of that. You couldn't see my hair.
Wow.
But this one doctor said, you cannot work here.
Fear is something else, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just thought to myself, okay, I got to keep my job. I got kids and I'm married. Okay, I'll keep my job. but that doesn't mean I will not continue the fight.
That's right.
You know, you are not gonna stop me. You might stop me at work, but out there, I am on the floor, and I am going to continue that fight. And we continued that. And one of the things that ended up happening is my daughter had a similar experience working at a place here. They told her she can wear braids. Yeah, and now this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yeah. And so she said, you know what, that Crown Act, we really need to work on that, Mom. I said, let's do it. So when the museum opened, we had a QR code that took you to the governor's office that alerted Mark Kelly and Senator Sinema. And we said, you know what? We want everyone who comes through this door, if you are a registered voter in Arizona, please scan that code. And there's a letter that's already set. Just put your name, sign your name at the bottom. We're going to bug the governor to pass the Crown Act. And the Crown Act, it stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair.
National hair. Yep.
Your hair has nothing to do with your performance at school, on your job.
Yeah.
And we were very clear and intentional in letting people know that. And we had an amazing turnout. We thought we'd have 70 people on our opening day. We had 362 people show up at the museum the opening day. And out of those 362, I don't know how many scanned it and actually sent it, but within 2 months, we got a call from the governor's office, and she signed the executive order to pass the Crown Act.
So do you know that I was asked to work with Annie Sykes, and so it was I guess a news piece or something, because I'm a natural hairstylist. So with that being said, we did this whole full report and asking my opinion as a hairstylist, and especially the population of which we serve. So I was so honored to be with Annie Sykes and, you know, having my voice heard alongside of her, and I can't remember who else was there, but I was like, oh, I helped with that Crown Act.
Absolutely.
I need to find that news piece so that I could reshare that.
Was that the one that was recently, or the one several years ago?
Several years ago.
Okay, I think I might have that.
Okay. So we were talking about that. I was like, and that was, you know, so profound.
Yes.
Even in my personal life, as you know, wearing my hair natural and a natural hairstylist, and working with a particular population that are said you're only really somebody unless you have that straight hair.
Right.
And so, you know, we want to unearth that those concepts that you're somebody
regardless.
That's
Whether
right.
you braid it, straighten it, put a weave in, put a sew in, a quick, however you wear it.
That's right. Wear a wig, have locks. We don't care.
Your hair does not define you.
That's right.
Your skill set is not based on your hair.
No.
As far as your academics, your smart, you were just saying that, and that it just speaks so much even louder and bolder the more we're even having that conversation, because society will
judge you.
Yes.
Based on that hair.
Yep.
Because you can walk into a job, and if you don't look the way they want you to look, they can discriminate against you. Well, technically now in this state, that's against the law.
Now the Crown Act is passed.
That's right.
Yes.
And you know, I think it's even more so, especially as African American people, and you know, we have the conversation about names, right? And resumes and things. And so when you have Tyrone with the locks, going to be discriminated against because not only his name or what you assume, but also because he have locks, and the media has pushed out this agenda of what men with locks are, who they are, and this person is highly educated. Having that Crown Act in place forces potential employers to look a little bit closer and not look at the surface level. And so I appreciate everything that you have done to help get the Crown Act passed. Being somebody that often will wear my hair naturally, I can only do one style. I can only straighten it if I do it myself. Hair is not my ministry.
Mine either.
That's just the style. I can do a little flat iron. That's all I got. I can't even do a straight part, you know. But with that, I love to be able to have the flexibility and versatility with my hair. And I've been blessed, and I haven't had challenges out in the open,
right?
None that you know of.
That you know of,
right? But I've had moments where you can pick it up. It's an undertone.
Yes, you can feel
right.
that.
You can feel it, and so because I can feel it even in an interview or something, let me switch it up and make myself look this way type of
we
thing.
want to dummy ourselves
We
down.
do, and that's
Yeah.
and
To
that's
conform.
exactly to whatever those norms are, and that's why we wanted to pass that Crown Act, because we don't want, if that's not you, don't,
Right.
because then you are cheating yourself.
That's so.
Yeah.
And then when you think about it, if you really take a deep dive into the definition of what locks stand for, it really is so related to our ancestors,
ancestry.
right?
Yes.
Because we weren't allowed to cut our hair, get a haircut. So we had to think of ways to be dignified.
That's right.
And so locks came in, and each lock has a story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Each lock has a story. So that is where it came from. So if you really kind of do your research, it's actually empowering.
Very much
You know what
so.
I'm saying? It's like,
Very much so.
And why braids, the different designs, because we were putting rice or different
Rice.
things in our hair
That's
to
right.
leave a trail.
That's
Yes.
right.
Right?
That's
So
right.
that the
Seeds,
slave
rice,
seeds,
all
rice.
types of seeds. Oh,
so
yeah.
the history, so you can learn so much, not just from, wearing your hair straight, but it's, oh my God, it's a history lesson.
It absolutely is. It takes us back to our ancestry and back across the ocean.
Yes.
And how did, as a matter of fact, we were talking about rice. How did those fruits and vegetables get here? How did hibiscus tea become something we do for Juneteenth? Who brought that hibiscus here? Who brought collard greens here? Who brought
right.
black-eyed peas? We braided it in our hair. So those things take us back to not just our hair, but also our food and our culture.
Yep.
Yes.
Complete culture.
Yeah. And forms of freedom.
Absolutely.
Self-expression.
Self-expression.
Yes.
I have long locks and I work in a professional environment. And so I face that where, have been, can you tame it a little bit more? It just looks so unprofessional. So when that Crown Act passed, it meant so much to me. I was coming back with the ability to just
It freed you.
It gave you the
that's
iron
right.
somebody.
Right. My head is up a little bit
Yes,
higher.
yes.
Sitting up a little bit straighter.
Yes.
absolutely. So thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you all, because I tell you, we all are basically standing on the shoulders of those who came
Oh my
before us.
goodness. Are we not?
And we know that, going back to the seeds, going back to the locks, making us proud that now we can do what we need to do and what makes us feel good about ourselves.
And then it's
so
the
important.
resilience. Would you say? Can you speak to the resilience
Of our people.
Yes, our people, and how that I am somebody is so necessary, right? Because
Yes.
we are living in an oppressed time,
Absolutely.
right? Really for all, but even
Yes.
more so
Yes.
those that are melanated. Can you speak to that for us?
You know, the climate has changed so much. Being a senior citizen, I've kind of
even
been
look
there
like
with. I have a great grandbaby.
A great grandbaby.
I have a great grandbaby, and it's not by a teenager either. I don't know. Somebody said, "Oh, did one of your teenagers?" No, this is somebody over 25. Wow. But yeah, I have a great grandbaby. So one of the things that's important for me is to leave something for them, just like my grandmother left something for me, and what they had to go through. That resilience. I remember being with my grandmother and my mother, and the whole Martin Luther King marches that were going on, and going to church. And that's where you got your information. And that's where you were preached to about strength and resiliency. That came from the church.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it wasn't just a Bible verse. It was how they took that Bible verse from thousands of years ago and applied it to right now. This is what we're doing right now. This is what we need to do right now. And with the climate changing so much, it is truly important for us to go back and look, because they are trying to take us back.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So to go back and look and get back in that fight. We are a resilient people. I mean, if we are here and you're of African descent, somebody endured a lot to get you to where you are right now. And that's one of the things I even talk to kids about when they come to the museum. I say, you're standing on the shoulders of somebody. Who was your grandfather? Who was your great grandfather? Somebody came over on a boat and they survived. And what did they go through? We may not know that, but we know they had to go through a lot to be here with us. And so be thankful, be grateful that we are here, that they provided whatever you have and whatever you don't have. Okay,
That's right.
especially for kids.
Right.
Yes.
But whatever you have, that you need to be grateful for that, and be grateful for them. because it is in your DNA.
That's right.
It is within you. That whatever they had back then, it's there.
Yes.
You just got to bring it to the light and continue that resilience, that fight, because it's there.
And I think, well, with the fight, especially our younger generation may get a little lazy, right? And don't really have that get up and go that some of those that came before them. And so I think that is so powerful to share that sense of resiliency. You're the one missing out on not embodying resilience or having that ability to speak life to yourself, because there is children coming after you, your children's children, and you owe them, just like our ancestors paid such a high price for us.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so we need to keep that chain going, that movement going, and constantly teaching our young children. The younger the better.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
With affirmation and so that they, as they grow, because the obstacles are gonna happen within the community, at home, wherever they may go. So they're gonna need that to push through, because we don't know what the world gonna look like.
That's right. 20, 30 years from now.
10 years from now.
Exactly. Yeah.
And,
To be honest.
like, that's so true. And then you said something, Miss Beverly, about learning resilience in church, right? And then I think back at that time, really, that was the only safe place for us.
That was it. My grandmother, I tell you, that was where she went for every meeting, any meeting, whether it was a civil rights meeting, whether it was a usher board meeting, the choir meeting, the school meeting, because they were mad at the school.
Right.
So they hosted it at the church.
Hosted at the church.
And that's the importance of how, especially in African American culture, the churches are the hub.
Yes.
Yeah.
In our culture, and there's some churches have had a little bit of a shift.
Yes.
But I mean, I grew up in church, and we had youth church. Like, I enjoy going. Like, I had fun.
Exactly.
At church, and I think there's something where there's been a little bit of getting away from that
very
because
much
folks
so.
are trying to run a program a little bit. I'm so grateful for my church that does not apply to us.
I know that's right.
I'm in a little bit of everything, and I be having a good time. I'm like, these is my people.
There you go.
Right.
If I got a life event going on, it's your church who you call and the people you connected to as well. And so I think that also brings and builds onto the I am somebody.
Absolutely.
Those church connections, especially people not from the area.
Exactly.
That extended family, you have to find it somewhere. And here in Arizona, it's not a lot of our population size. Isn't great. Where do you
4%. 4% in Tucson.
4%. So where do you find? You often hear, where the black people at in Tucson? You hear that all the time. I'm like, we here. You better get outside.
Right. We're here.
Or like, or the museum.
Spread out.
It's no longer the neighborhood where you go down the street.
Right.
And, Miss Hunter over here is gonna say something to you before you get home. You're not supposed to be doing that.
That's right.
Disconnected. And those days are so far gone.
Yeah.
You can't even do that anymore.
You can't even talk to your own kids.
I was just gonna say, Beverly chastise your own kid. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna call 911.
Right.
You're 10.
They ain't gonna even call. They gonna text.
And so we're getting so far from what the Bible says. Discipline your child. That is a sign of love.
It is.
That means you care.
Exactly.
And so you hear so many grown folks that even say, like, my parents, number one, weren't really there, right? Trying to put food on the table.
That's right.
But
Working.
then the opportunity to, teach and, chastise.
Yes, at the same time.
Some kids, don't matter. Give me some attention. I don't care if it's negative attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Show me you love me.
Especially our
Give
children.
me my time.
Right? In these, especially the dense communities, which a lot of our people come from, right?
Yes.
Because redlining is real. That's a whole. That's part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Redlining is real. So they want to stack us on one, and then have the food deserts, the library deserts, and all these different things. So a young person coming from that situation, I don't care if I'm getting negative trouble, just to get some attention.
Yes.
Just so you can look at me and see me. We all need to be seen and heard.
That's right. I want you to see me. I don't care if I did dump that cleanser on the floor knowing it was supposed to go in the sink.
That's right.
Right, just little stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just a little, just something
Yeah.
little. Yeah, they knew
Yeah.
they didn't want to get a lot of trouble, but just enough that they
Yeah.
that mom would
human
notice
You're gonna
them.
pay attention
Yeah,
and look.
pay attention
That
to
goes back to the foundation
That's
for
right.
your children and building within them that they
Right.
are somebody. Saying like,
right.
well, my son, we do affirmations all through the day.
There you go.
He
There you
not
go.
too. He got to memorize. I start saying them. He finishing them up, but that start early on because
That's right.
then you end up broken children grow to be broken adults.
Adults, that's
and
right.
broken adults
Yep.
cause chaos.
Right.
Right.
Until they can
And
pull it
these broken
together.
adults will
Takes
be
them
in
time.
positions of leadership and
Right.
making choices and decisions that impact not only them,
But
everybody.
the
Because
community.
they don't realize I am somebody, I'm valued, I'm important. They just don't
They
know.
did-
And
they
I think
didn't get
people
it.
don't realize,
Yeah, when they were
like,
younger.
yes, the earlier the better, but
Yes.
as an adult, you can learn I am somebody and that
Yeah.
you matter, which is why it's so important to surround yourself with the right people. Because that birds of a feather flock together. You get to look in your, what's going on? Your one friend in jail, now your next friend in jail. You might want to watch your company a little bit.
Right.
Or putting yourself and surrounding yourself with people who are not, you're not competing with them.
Yeah.
You celebrate
Right.
their achievements.
Right.
You celebrate
and
their
I think
success.
that's something that our young people today are so competitive
Yes.
that I would love to see them be less competitive and more celebratory. If my friend has this over here, I'm not going to be jealous of them because they got on whatever $200 Nikes.
Yeah.
You know, there were kids that were getting killed for that in
Yes.
big cities.
Yes.
You know, instead saying, "Man, those are those are sharp. I love
Yeah.
those shoes."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being able to lift up
Celebratory.
Yeah.
your brothers and your sisters. And to me, we've lost a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And
that-
we're trying to
that-
keep
that-
up with the
Saying,
Joneses.
yeah,
Yes.
you know, it's better to give. So when you celebrate others, it's a form of giving.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then it really helps you. Like when
You feel
we ask the
better.
kids,
Yeah.
how do you feel when you receive a compliment?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Versus receiving a compliment.
Yeah.
So even just using that type of
Yeah.
activity
Yes.
could be so powerful within itself. Like
Yeah.
learn how to give and bottle
not,
that up.
and not expect something back when
Yeah.
you give.
Right.
Because if
Yeah.
you're really giving, you don't need anything back. You don't
Speaking
expect anything back.
Of giving, you and your husband, you guys are the ultimate givers of your time, your treasure, your resource, your education. What would you say motivates that?
Yeah.
And what piece of advice for other young adults to engage in similar practices? Because I think that it just makes our community at large it just makes us better. But you all give of yourself in such humble ways and don't look for anything in return. And I can only imagine how you all have instilled that in your children. Look at Jody. Now we got the museum. And thank you, Jody. You know, because I'm over there on the museum side now for the last 3 weeks. So Jody, I appreciate you.
When we talk about Jody, look at his heart.
Yes.
Everybody
spirit.
should get a treat. Like the concern.
That's instilled in
And
him.
have them leave uplifted.
That's
Yeah,
right.
have something sweet. Give them a little sugar rush. Give them some energy.
Yes.
That's brilliant. That's really,
Yes.
really good.
Yes.
He is definitely a heart child. He
Yes.
speaks from here.
Yes.
When he
But he
speaks.
learned
That's-
that. He learned that from his
Where did he get it
parents.
from?
His
Who
parents
learned that from her
Right.
Right,
mama.
and then you in turn,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Give-
so
give-
yeah,
give it
share
back.
share with
Well,
us
you know,
you all's motivations.
Well, I grew up with a mom and a dad, and I tell you, like I said, we were pretty poor. But my mom would, I don't care if you needed something, you came to our house, she would give it to you. That was just her. And she didn't expect you to ever bring something back. If you did, she was grateful. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Because if she gave you sugar or she gave you, a half of our roast beef or she gave you whatever, that's because she wanted you to be okay.
yeah.
And so that's what I learned from watching her.
that's so powerful.
We have had, I can't tell you how many different cousins and different folks that lived at our home because either their family put them out or somebody put them out. And my mom's like, oh, just go ahead. Y'all stay in the basement, baby, and come on up and shower and dinner's at this time.
Yeah.
Years of that. I grew up with years of that. So when it was my turn and we were young,
we
my
are.
husband, and we learned to just give back. I was always helping people. It was just that natural thing to do that. And of course, My children, same thing. I have 2 adopted children. And the main reason they were adopted is because somebody wasn't there for them.
Yeah.
And
Heart.
it's
a
really
beautiful
interesting
heart.
because one of my daughters, my oldest daughter, she was friends with my biological daughter, and she said, "Mom, we need your help." I love my friend, and I don't want anything to happen to her.
Wow.
She needs a mommy figure. Can you help us? She's my daughter now.
Look at
But
that.
she knew that she could go to you.
She knew you what kind of heart her
versus
mother had.
somebody else mom saying, I got enough mouths to feed around
Right.
here. Like,
Right.
she can come over and spend the
Right.
night sometimes. She knew I can bring this to my mom and my mom's going to have a solution.
Exactly.
Jody knew I could talk to my grandma about this and my grandma's going to come up with a solution. She's not going to pity pat and just say, oh, I'm so sorry that didn't quite work out, because that's just not who you all are.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah.
we do, and because we are just so honored to have you here with us in this space on this day. You know, we want a couple of nuggets, even one. We will just give us a nugget.
Soap it up.
Not only for us, but our listeners. So many people, especially in this climate we're in, need nuggets. Many, many, many nuggets. What would you say?
Well, one of the things I've been hearing people say about this climate is, oh my goodness, this is going to happen. We got to start over. Let's not start over. To me, you have knowledge. When you start over, sometimes you cut that off. You want to keep that knowledge, that intellectual knowledge or experiences that you've had. You just want to move forward in a positive direction. You want to be graceful in moving forward as well. Because a lot of times, I know things can get tough and we are ready to go to battle. We are going to whoop some you know what.
Right.
Yes.
No, that's
Right.
when you take that breath and you go,
Right.
you know what? Is it really worth it? Is that pulling me outside of myself, who I am? Do not let anybody pull you outside of yourself, of who you really are. Really think about that. Process that and go, you know what? I'm a good person. I know me. I am a strong and resilient woman. And I don't care what somebody over there says. I'm okay. And we've got to learn to be okay with where we are and move forward gracefully.
Now, the mic has been dropped.
Yes.
Nugget.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. And we're hoping that you will come back and visit us.
Anytime.
To
I'd love
continue the
this.
conversation.
Yes.
Oh, we are so mad. I said, I think with another one of our guests, I needed my paper and pen to be taking down some notes. So I will be looking at this video myself.
Yes.
So that I can have the time to take down some wonderful notes that you shared with us. So I appreciate it.
Yes.
I really do. I think
Yes.
you know,
Is
we
there
all do.
anything else you
No,
want to share?
I feel so blessed to be
Yes.
here in this space with you all. I mean, it uplifts me. And
Yes.
I think anyone who comes in here, if they can't pull it out, they don't need to be here.
Miss Beverly
I'm
has
sorry.
spoken. Miss
I'm
Beverly
sorry.
has spoken.
I'm
You
sorry,
heard.
but- I'm sorry, with you 3 beautiful women sitting across from us
Yes.
with knowledge, understanding, compassion.
Yes.
If all of that comes through to me being here across from you all, if nobody else is picking that up,
Well,
We appreciate
we
you.
are so thankful for that.
Yes.
You want to take us out?
Yes. So thank you all for listening in today. Learn more about the I Am Somebody movement. Visit our website, imu360.org. Please subscribe to the newsletter. Also subscribe to the African American Museum of Southern Arizona's newsletter. Be sure to like, follow, comment, and subscribe. You are somebody. You matter. We love you, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yes.
All right. It's a wrap.